Hey, my beautiful people. Good morning and miraculous Monday. I pray that this message finds you well, healthy, and in great spirits. And oop, my hair, I'm looking crazy this morning, y'all. But guess what? It is what it is, and it's going to be exactly what it's meant to be. Uh, but my hair is all over the place today. I'm looking a little crazy. But like I say, it is what it is. We're going to get on through it and we're going to make it do what it do, because I always do. Um, I pray that this Monday, that this message finds you well, healthy, in great spirits, and having a miraculous Monday thus far. I am at the JOB, and it is big things popping, y'all. It is definitely some craziness. And it is, like I say, bittersweet and unheard of. It's still hard for me to wrap my mind around. I have been working since I was 12 years old, and I was always taught to work hard and to have a job and to work for what you want, and so many other things. I've literally had a job since I was 12. There has not been, I've had a couple of periods of unemployment where I've received unemployment compensation, and but then shortly after I would find a new gig. And I would have to say that the jobs that I have realized that I have taken jobs and become content in the jobs because they were paying the bills or taking care of family, or because of the level of responsibility that I had at the time. The jobs that I've had haven't always been satisfying and fulfilling, or my heart's desires, or what I wanted to do. And I never really considered myself when it came to priority, or making myself a priority, or even considering what I wanted. It was about, like I say, being able to pay the bills, take care of other people, having a schedule to be able to take care of other people, so on and so forth. The many reasons why we choose to do certain things. And it has been a tough couple of months, I would have to say, because it has been constantly on my mind, and I have been getting nudges, and definitely God has been talking to me, and I've been trying to hang on and hold on and maintain some level of control, like we always do. We say that we surrender all, and then we hang on and try to maintain control and lean to our own understanding in so many different areas. And these last couple of years have been the most challenging, but also the most blessed. And there has been a lot of healing, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, and a lot of change in me personally, in how I operate, but also in making myself a priority, considering what I want, protecting my time, protecting my energy, protecting my space, protecting my peace, asserting firm boundaries, limiting access, not being concerned about what people think or what they want or how they feel, making sure that I am the priority, not needing or seeking validation from others, or needing their opinions or their input. So this has really been life-changing for me, and it is completely different than what I was used to doing, or what I formerly did, or how I formerly operated. And it has been refreshing, it has been peaceful, it has been, but then I would have to admit, at times it has also been scary, because new things come about and new things come up, and at the end of the day, my circle is almost non-existent. I have been pretty much by myself handling business. I have not had a lot of support, not even from family, not from friends, not from the people who claim to love me or be there for me. So those have been some tough lessons that I have had to learn over the last almost 2 years. And like I say, it has been eye-opening to say the least. But it also has provided me with a sense of freedom as well, because everybody is doing them, and I've always made other people's urgencies and emergencies or situations my priority. And people are living their lives. They're doing them, and they're making their way, and they're figuring it out, and they're living their best lives. And ain't nobody checking on me or checking for me. So it's been pretty eye-opening, and I have had to figure it out myself, standing on my own 2 feet, getting strong within myself, standing strong, confidently and boldly in my power and authority. I had to learn who I am, whose I am, and continue pushing forward in spite of the wilderness and solitude and all of the tough lessons that I learned. Because like I say, at the end of the day, I know my soul tribe is coming, and I know the people who truly value, who appreciate and value me, who want me around, who will celebrate me, who will encourage, who will love me the same way that I love. I know they're coming. I've given in hopes for things to be reciprocated, and that was the hard lessons that I've learned over these last 2 years, because things were never reciprocated for me. There was never any consideration. There was never any value, appreciation, or gratitude for the sacrifices or the things that I've done. So with God's divine pruning, my circle is almost non-existent, and I realized it had to be done so that I can see people for who they are and how they are, and also learn to stand strong on my own 2 feet, by myself, um, and stand boldly, like I say, in my power and authority, know who I am, learn to appreciate, respect, honor, and value myself. That includes my time, my energy, my efforts, my resources, and those things that I so freely gave away in the past, to see that people held me to a standard that they didn't even hold themselves to. And the same things that I gave, I never received for myself. So God divinely pruned my branches, and so that I could bear the fruit that He knows, that God knows I'm capable of bearing. And these last couple of months have been have gone back and forth, because I have been growing and praying and getting stronger in my spirituality. I definitely know that I'm God's chosen. I am marked, I'm set apart, I'm forged in the fire. And God has big plans for me. There is a huge mantle um, that I am meant to carry, and all of these lessons through the wilderness and then through this solitude, even addressing my traumas, my dramas, my insecurities, my inadequacies, my feelings of unworthiness and enough. Like, the therapy has been life-changing for me, because it helped me to address stuff, face stuff, confront stuff, to be real and honest about the situations in my life, also my role in the people in my life. And I had to forgive people for the way that they've treated me. However, I also had to forgive myself for the things that I accepted and the things that I allowed. Because I did accept less than desirable treatment, and I did accept less than I wanted for myself. And with my identity in God, and realizing my identity in God, who I am, it called me to rise higher. It taught me to love myself, and it taught me to honor and respect myself, and value myself in a way that I never have. And over these last couple of months, God has been nudging me to, you say you surrender all, but you're still trying to maintain control. And God has been nudging me to leave my job, because at the end of the day, I have been at my job for 19 and a half years. And with the way that things are happening, with how they function, the lack of integrity, the lack of accountability um, that the state takes, and how they operate and how they treat the staff, um, it the things that used to make me comfortable are starting to make me real uncomfortable and uneasy. So in this, I reached out to my supervisor and I asked him, I said, if I resign, I said, would I have to resign, or could you lay me off so I could get some unemployment? And it ultimately came down to the fact that they can't lay me off. But again, still trying to get my dominoes and my ducks in a row to maintain that level of control and to have that income coming in, because I still have my bills, I still have my debt and everything, that my monthly responsibilities. So again, I'm trying to get things in order for myself, and every which way I tried, it was like, no, 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 it's not going to happen. So I really feel and I really know that God has brought me to a place that, we have free will. We have the opportunity to make the choices for ourselves. And in the past, I have been at pivotal crossroads, and I have had these types of feelings in the past. And instead of choosing me or taking a leap of faith, I would always stay in the grind and stay pushing, or stay in the employment again because it paid bills, because it worked, because there was a plan. And look, at the end of the day, I'm a Virgo. Things have to logically make sense. I'm analytical. I put the pieces together, and in dealing with God, it just does not work like that. God makes absolutely no sense in how God operates and in the things that come to fruition. You definitely have to be, it's not going to be any thunderclap and loud roars for you to get the answer. God speaks in whispers and synchronicities and signs, and you have to be able to be present enough in your moments to be aware of what's happening around you in order to get the messages. And I intentionally make sure that I'm present in my moments and aware, because I never want to miss a message or hearing from God. And in me trying to make things work the last couple of months, asking like about layoff and this, could they do this, could they do that, trying to maintain that income, it all comes down to a resounding no. So I am standing on the edge, and it is God saying, like, you can stay where you want. However, I do notice that the more I change, the more I grow, the more I heal, the more I expand, the closer I draw to God. The more things that used to make me comfortable are making me very uncomfortable and very uneasy. And this job is just, because of how they operate, and it makes absolutely no sense, this job is just not satisfying or fulfilling for me anymore in the ways that it used to be, because I think and I know and I feel, and in my opinion, the state needs to do better. They need to treat their staff better, and they need to be accountable for their actions, but also their inactions. And when you get the opportunity to experience the higher up realms, it's not always like that. People like to pass the buck, and There's a lack of accountability, and at the end of the day, we're grown. People have to take accountability and responsibility for their mistakes. We want to get a plan so we don't end up back in the same place and position again. And I definitely have an understanding of why we're always in a shortfall, or why we always why the budget, why we're always at a deficit, and it's because of how it operates. And like I say, the longer I'm here, the more I don't agree, and it is getting harder and harder for me to be amongst and within systems that make absolutely no sense. A lot of systems need to be dismantled and rebuilt because how they're operating is like I say, it's not fair, it's not just, and it just absolutely makes no sense. And again, I think I'm becoming more of a disruptor as well. My bright light, I shine my light brightly. I speak what's on my mind. I say how I feel. I don't bow, I don't break, I don't shrink. I say what is needed. Like I say, if I feel I need to speak up and speak my truth, I will. If I need to stand firm, and I notice that my light definitely shines in a lot of dark places, it makes people and things uncomfortable. So I say all that to say that I am standing on the edge, and I come to a point where I've tried it my way. I've tried to make it happen. I've tried to get compensation. I've tried to get further income, and it was a no at every turn. And I have been nudged to leave my job. It is no longer satisfying and fulfilling in the ways that it used to be, and ultimately it feels like it's killing my spirit, And it is crazy because I was always, like I say, my papa always taught me to work and good work ethic, and now God is calling me to quit. And it is hard for me. It has been a challenge for me to wrap my mind around or even fathom. However, guess what? I'm going to take the leap, y'all. I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to step out on faith, and I'm going to trust God, and I'm going to totally let go and allow myself to be led. So I said all that to say I will keep you in the loop, but today is the official day that I put in my notice, y'all. I put in my notice, and my last day after 19 and a half years will be December 19th. So here we go on the countdown to, and that's with no plan. I don't have another job or another income, or my debt hasn't suddenly gone away. I just know and feel that I've been put in a position that God is saying I have free will and free will and choice to do it. So either I'm going to take the leap, or I'm going to stay here, and ultimately it's going to become so miserable that I ain't going to be able to stand it. But I am going to take the leap, y'all. I'm going to step out on faith. I am going to take a leap of faith, and I am going to fly, and I know with God I am going to soar. I know that the plans that God has for me are far greater than anything that I could ever dream or imagine for myself. So here we go, y'all. There's more to come, my beautiful people. Change is coming, and big change. Big change is coming, and I'm trying to be aware and present in my moments, because the fear and the doubt and those things do try to creep in. So I'm addressing it and setting it to the side, and I'm going to stay pushing forward through it all, because I am going to get my blessings, y'all. I don't know where God's taking me, and guess what? I don't even need to know, because I know it's greater than anything that I could have imagined, dreamed, wanted, or desired for myself. So stay tuned, my beautiful people. Here we go. Today is the official day that I put in my resignation. The last day after 19 and a half years will be December 19th. All right, my beautiful people. You have the most amazing day on purpose. And do something nice for yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.